had he lost his mojo? Would he ever get onto the pace of his teammate Elfyn Evans? Well, if Kalle Rovanperä was in any way concerned by those questions, he's answered them today, David. 6 stage wins out of 6 here at Rally Islas Canarias. He leads by 26.8 seconds on a rally I told everyone would be very close between all the drivers. I've been proved badly wrong.
Kalle Rovanperä is the mojo. I don't really know what a mojo is, but he certainly is never going to lose his mojo, is he? You know, we talked about this before the event. Kalle Rovanperä is a 2-time world champion, capable of great things, and today he's demonstrated that. He felt comfortable with the car, he felt comfortable with the tyre, he made it all work, the package came together. Bingo, there you go.
The ominous thing for me is that particularly this morning, he kind of looked like things just weren't quite there. He was frustrated by things in his driving, and yet he was still winning stages. But that's reminiscent of how he used to be when he dominated everyone a couple years back. So I don't like to lean into the old cliche because it's one day, and I don't think we should look too much into what happened in the first 3 rounds. But the old Rovanperä, if I can get away with saying that, it's bad.
He never went anywhere.
Well,
he never went anywhere. He wasn't comfortable with the car. He throttled back. He drove sensibly. He didn't take risks. He didn't put the car off. Did he? No, he didn't.
No.
And you know, he played the ball as it lay, and now suddenly he's got the confidence. He's back. You know, Kalle Rovanperä didn't forget how to drive a rally car. He's always known. Of course he has. It was just everything, as we say, every piece of that puzzle is there now for him.
It was a pretty good day, I have to say. It has been quite a long time since we have been on this kind of pace, so yeah, feels good.
Is that a relief?
Yeah, of course, it's always a nice feeling when you get everything right, because you of course you always know it's there, but if you cannot do it, it's a bit not so nice feeling, and when you finally can do it again, it's good.
You've done quite a lot of circuit racing since your last dry tarmac rally as well. Do you think that's helped?
Well, it looks like that the driving is pretty much like circuit what I'm doing, and it seems to work, so maybe, yeah.
Sebastian Ogier finds himself second overnight, 26.8 seconds, as I said before, behind Rovanperä. But interestingly, David, got to the end of stage 6, and he's never throwing the white flag, it's Ogier, but admitted the battles with Elfyn Evans behind, not Rovanperä, after day 1.
I think Sebastian is realistic, and he knows that this morning stage, the first stage of the loop, was really the twistiest. The first part of that was really twisty. Tomorrow, it's a little bit wider, a little bit smoother, and a little bit quicker. He knows that with less junctions around, it's going to be harder to make that time up. So I think he's just being realistic. And yeah, as we said, you know, Kalle's talking about having more performance, more pace. They're probably going to tweak the car again here and get it even more to his liking. So it's sensible. And, you know, the position that the team's in now, yeah, Sebastian Ogier has no championship to worry about. He's got nothing, you know, he can absolutely push the limits and see what he can do. But he's the ultimate team player, isn't he? You know, and he knows that if he can sit in that second place, he's going to bring good points home for the team.
I mean, I cannot be unhappy. Of course, it's not the perfect day, and I cannot be 100% satisfied, but it's been still positive, you know, after 3 months not racing, being there on a still a strong reason. But yeah, unfortunately for me, one man was just flying today and killing everybody. So,
do you think you can catch him? Is 26 seconds too much, or?
That's already something you can call as a big gap on tarmac for sure. So it's not the plan to go like stupidly crazy tomorrow and try to catch him, because at the moment, if you are realistic, he's a bit untouchable. So the plan first is getting closer to his rhythm, and I think probably the fight for me at the moment is more with Elfyn than with Kalle.
World Championship leader Elfyn Evans is the third of those 5 Toyotas, 9.6 seconds behind Ogier. Good day for Elfyn?
Could be better, in his own words, it could be better. You know, but Elfyn, again, it's the same. You know, you give him a bit and he wants a bit more and he wants a bit more. For me, I do wonder if there's a bit of psychology, a bit of kind of thinking about the position that he's in. Again, you know, he has got a lot to lose. If he goes and really chases for second or first place, yes, of course he wants to, but he's got a good lead. You know, if he can settle on Sunday on the podium, go away from here with the top 3 place, that's great.
Yep.
You know, that's a really solid result going into gravel. You know, he needs to have a good lead in the championship. We've got, I don't know how many gravel rounds coming up ahead of us. And he knows that he's going to be the man sacrificed, particularly in the likes of Acropolis and Sardinia. but there's still a lot of mileage to come on this event and a lot of really tricky roads.
Perhaps the surprise of the day, at least for me, is young Sami Pairi. A credible 4th place at the end of Friday. 10 seconds up on Takamoto Katsuta, who it's fair to say has a lot more experience on the car on this surface. So I think a great day by Sami. Taka has 7 seconds in hand over Thierry Neuville, but really not a good day for the Hyundais, David. Ironically, all split by 1.5 seconds from 6th to 8th. Neuville, Tanak, Fomo, but the pace just wasn't there.
No, as good a day as it was for Toyota, as difficult a day it was for Hyundai. And yeah, you know, if you're Hyundai team management, if you're FX de Maison, the technical director, I was going to say you're scratching your head. I'm sure they're not. You know, as much as the drivers are saying, we don't know what it is, I'm sure that the team will have lots of ideas. There'll be so much data will have come out of the cars from the 2 loops today. They need to find something. They need to find a setup which gives confidence to the drivers. You know, this on tarmac, the cars are so stiff, so responsive. You know, the smallest kind of bump or whatever, if it unsettles the car, it can take the confidence away immediately. Any kind of a snap under braking or whatever, it's really hard to come back from. So they need to find a solution. They need to get the drivers comfortable in the car and then find the pace after that. But yeah, it's been tough, I'm sure, for the team in blue just over our shoulder there to be listening to what's going on today. It's never easy. And for them to say, you know, we've got no idea, you know, that's really almost unheard of these days, particularly, you know, the likes of Thierry and Oit. They know that car inside out, and you know they'd always have a fiddle with ride height or with roll bars or that kind of thing. I guess if there is a positive for Fomo, it's that he's right there with them. You know, he's not complained in the same fashion about the lack of comfort, but to know that, you know, you're driving exactly the same car and you're right there with a pair of world champions after just 3 full events in the car is pretty good for him, but frustration all round, really.
What did you change to the car in service this morning?
We don't have enough time to make the list now.
How much, percentage-wise, are we talking roughly?
A lot. But I mean, the fundamentals were not possible to change. On a race, again, you are very limited on what you can bring to the race. So, I mean, it's not so much you can change on a rally. At the same time, we tried a lot of little things, which gave me some improvement, but not the one we were expecting.
Will the car be turned upside down overnight ahead of tomorrow?
I mean, in a big picture, all the things are nominated. I mean, the transmission is sealed, suspension is sealed. I mean, everything is sealed. So it's very difficult to find like full motivation to fight for 6th place, really, all in. So, but yeah, we try to maximize.
We haven't done properly our homework before coming here, but yeah, it's motorsport, it's rally. I mean, we have a new tire manufacturer, and we didn't expect to have so many issues with managing the tires through the days. And quite a strange day, seeing a Finnish driver beating some tarmac experts on all the stages. So yes, we are scratching our head, but I think Mr. Ogier is also scratching his head to try to understand why there is so big difference.
I have to admit I was wrong. Anyone that remembers our preview content, I may have
Really?
tipped Fomo for a victory. Anything can happen, but over a minute off the lead in 8th place wasn't quite what I
No. What happened
had in mind.
was you were like, Fomo. Ooh, that's a good time from Kalle Rovanperä at Shakedown. Kalle Rovanperä is going to win this rally.
Was I wrong so far? Well, it's almost been 3 rallies in one out there today. Toyota out front, Hyundai in the middle of the pack, and sadly M Sport at the rear. Not the best of days for either Gregoire Munster or I guess particularly Josh McElwain. Some setup struggles as well, David. I guess a legacy of, well, Greg said to us before the rally that he reckoned the team's at a disadvantage with just 2 cars in the test, not as much information. Josh, I think we saw in Monty, the tarmac pace is the area really to work on in terms of speed, isn't it? But it's confidence with this car. The air load is so much different to Rally 2.
Totally, and it's exactly what we've just talked about. You know, when you've got time in the car and you've got experience of these kind of events, it's a different ball game. But neither, you know, Gregoire Munster's been around for a while now. He's been in the car for a while. Josh, it's his 4th event in the car. You know, you can't really expect realistically for these boys to get in and get absolutely on the pace at this level. They need more experience. They need more time in the car. The worst thing they could do now is put the car off, just keep it in the middle of the road and get to Sunday afternoon. You know, for me, that's what they need to do. Forget the times. it's almost rewind for Josh back to what you were doing in Monty. Take the confidence, forget everything else, forget the social media nonsense, blah, blah, blah. Drive the car, take confidence, go away from here, debrief, and move on.
We have, as always, a brilliant battle in WRC2 as well, with Johan Rossell leading Alejandro Cajón by 18.7 seconds.
You said that very well.
Thank you. I was very proud of that in the lunch review. But
give us another go.
No,
come on, one more time.
I guarantee, tell you what, anyone in the comments, if you know I'm pronouncing it wrong, don't tell me. I'm taking it like this. But yeah, he is second. Nikolai Greisen is third. So we have a Citroen, a Toyota, and a Skoda in that fight. We're used to seeing Oliver Solberg's name at the top of the Rally 2 timesheets. Unfortunately, not the case today. David, what happened?
A small transmission issue, I think, on the second stage. Struggled a bit this morning with the setup, but got it dialed and was super quick on the first stage out of service. Transmission issues on the second, and sensible, just drove the car through, brought it back, and we'll be back out tomorrow. Not that it matters for Oliver. You know, he's here for experience, to learn the car, not racing for WRC 2 points this week.
Not the best of rallies so far for FIA Rally Star and reigning junior WRC champion Robert Jurgensen either. I'm not sure actually if you can see his car over our shoulder in shot. You can. I'm getting a nod from Elliot, but that is his Fiesta parked in Park Fermi before everyone else is fully through, so that's never a good sign. But just got caught out on the first stage, which is easy to do on a rally like this.
So hardly any damage. You know, you'd have thought that would have polished out. I mean, it was just nothing now, was there? But it almost looked as though it got a little bit wedged under the Armco. But yeah, real shame, because as a newbie to this level, you want to be getting as many kilometers as you can under your belt.
Now, if you're a newbie to rallying or an expert even, we know the best place for you to go and nurture your skills. DirtFish Rally School in Snoqualmie, Washington, just outside of Seattle. We have so many different ranges of courses to do. David, you've spent plenty of time there.
Absolutely. And genuinely every time I come away from time in the car, you're a better driver. You know, you learn stuff that you can use on the road, use in compromised conditions. It's an amazing place. From half day to a full 3 day, it's amazing. We've got everything. We've got rear-wheel drive BRZs, all-wheel drive WRXs. You will not have any more fun in the whole wide world than you'll get at DirtFish Rally School.
Nope, I couldn't agree more. But other than that, for this weekend at least, the best place to be to have your fun is right here on the YouTube channel. We have still 2 days left of Rally Islas Canarias. So far, it's been the Rovanperä show. Will it remain that way? We'll find out tomorrow.